Japan.
How about this? I will do anything that makes me fucking money on this, and if I take too much heat, I'm gonna back out. Fine,
dude.
And you don't even have to make a public statement about it. He could have just stopped doing it. You know, I ain't doing that again. I've done that before. I ain't doing that one again. That.
You just turn the fucking comments off. That's how he's treating this. Like when he talks about it a little more, you'll hear it. But he should just be one of those people. If you want to do this for fun and you just want to do it for fun and talk what you want to talk about, get in, get out, do it for your, for your own release and whatever else. Post the video of the content you want to talk about. Turn the comments off. Boom.
Yeah, turn the that'll do it.
But there's no way he's gonna do that.
No, he's gonna do that.
No way.
So I was going to do Kurt told me to do this thing on Mutahar, who's quitting something else again. I don't know, too hard. I don't know.
Yes, I'm actually waiting for the video of him posting what he's going to be covering on his channel soon. So I know what actual content he's going to be making. Right now, I just know the stuff he's not going to be covering.
He's not covering. And I don't know, like, I was thinking about, you mentioned it, I was like, I really don't want to do Muta. Like, because I don't hate him. The last message I got from him is he said something like he didn't want to like mess up our relationship, and I started thinking like, wait a minute, we've always been cool, we're acquaintances, I respect you, but it's not like we were close. I wouldn't even say I was close with his wife, but I was like more friendly with her, and I still like her a lot. I think Mutahar dug his own grave with this stupid shit. He handled it. He was dishonest, and he got caught. And then, of course, drama's fault. And then I said to myself, well, maybe I should hate him because, during the Mama Max thing, really, well, it's just like, I don't know. I guess I have like, Dennis Leary calls it Irish Alzheimer's. I don't fucking know. But this guy was perfectly happy with throwing all the people, which was me, calling what Max was doing a scam in a barrel that they were like pro, and they're having this joking conversation with Turkey Tom, like, well, I thought we kind of established it for bed. Yeah, you would think. And he was perfectly fine with that. And then who was that called in 2 years ago and defended Max after Max had already thrown him under the bus? Let's talk about a cult-like personality. Who was that guy?
Night Docs?
Yeah, Night Docs. So that's the kind of power that Max had over people this time last year when it all fell apart. Yeah, it wasn't Nexpo. Nexpo it was Night Docs, not Nexpo. And I started thinking, you tell me if I'm crazy first. Do you think that at some point, I wouldn't say right away, obviously not right away, that they all knew it was a scam and they just were terrified of Max?
Terrified? I don't know about terrified. I think they just didn't like the stuff he was doing earlier on. Maybe they just didn't see it was like it wasn't hurting anything. He wasn't doing anything positive, but isn't doing anything negative. You know what I mean?
Do you think
like
they said to themselves when he told when Night Docs was supposedly, which I don't believe, was messing with his own children and stuff like that, or treating them poorly or abusing them? Do you think they ever thought, that sounds like horse shit? And I can't do anything about it. I can't do anything about it. They were like, you think they just ate it up?
Yeah, they were eating it up till the end for a lot of it. Yeah,
probably right. That's the fucking worst thing about it. To me, it was just so.
I mean, the same shit just keeps happening over and over again. So clearly, there's some sort of retardation.
Well, here's the thing. They're all YouTubers. They're all YouTubers. Yeah. They're all willing to get on the next thing. They're all not gonna, shake the tree, so to speak, if it hurts their money down the line, if they have to get in a drama battle or something. So basically, I don't know. Should I be mad at Mutahar because he looked perfectly comfortable? I being like the only major critic is like, oh man, there's actually people speaking out against Max who's doing just such wonderful fucking things. I mean, was it the Nexpo and Mutahar in that cult mentality where Nexpo would actually have some sort of Munchausen syndrome or whatever they call it, or Stockholm syndrome, where he would actually come in and defend him after he said something that he was a bad father and an abusive father? And they all fucking sat around and just believed it. So what does Mutahar do? He gets caught in a bullshit lie when he gets, and then you want to talk about Germans and stuff like that. The courage not to stay. Like, why didn't Mutahar have the courage to say, hey, you with your anime little avatar, you're a creep. I'm out of here. No, he didn't. When he saw all that shit. No, neither did who's the other jerk off that was in that podcast that I did was on lolcow with me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, nobody had the courage to say, hey, this is, I mean, even if he said, oh, okay, went along with it, you know, and maybe he could have went back to Gamer for More and say, I can't do this, the guy's too much of a creep.
Oompa doesn't care, though.
Oompa Bill. I don't know what Oompa doesn't care at all. I could tell you right now, Oompa Bill.
I wouldn't care at all.
Well, I mean, and then, so what happens when he gets caught lying to Chud, telling 16 different stories, not owning it? Oh, it's Drama's fault, which just, divided all of us. And then I go back and I look like that it looks like, yeah, like Chud was kind of right. I think he was kind of taking a shot at people like me. Oh, wait a minute. I was the only people that said, look, there's something crazy going on here. This isn't real. This isn't how pedos are caught. He's just making videos. Nobody's getting caught. How come no one's asked the question, who have you caught? At that point, nobody had asked it. You know, it wasn't until it was, well, let's face it, Max was weak enough to go after. That he had, and how did he get weak? What did Max have to do to get weak? He had to go public about a vampire cult that never existed. That was too much for everybody. That's how stupid everybody is. It had to get to the point of fucking vampires. And I could see why Max would believe that shit, because it's like, look at all this other bullshit I sold to the public. No one, the other YouTubers are calling me out. I'm sitting there demanding Joe Rogan comes on and supports this crazy shit. Let's see how far we can push this. Vampires and werewolves. Let's go. He thought he could pull it off. I can do this. That's what the sociopaths are. I can do it. So, yeah, Muta got involved when, the way I see it now, I used to see it as like, you know, he got involved after the Carl Jobs thing when he had time, but now I see it as like when it was easy. When he started, you know, throwing gasoline on himself and lighting himself on fire on stream. And I do wonder, I wonder if you're wrong, Verse. I wonder if they were just like, wow, this sounds like bullshit, but I'm not going to say anything because he's the pedo hunter. And certainly Mama Max was aware that he was the pedo hunter.
Well, they don't want to go against the grain against somebody doing quote unquote good. That's true.
Well, I'm saying, did they privately believe the whole thing was bullshit and just like, either whether he's bullshit or not, I can't do anything?
Well, I'm saying optically he's doing the good, so he doesn't want to go. They don't want to go against that grain.
Optically, exactly.
Because the fans are the one that count, right? And the fans are the ones that believe it. So clearly, like that's the one they're worried about.
If the fans believe it, it's true. It's crazy. And the YouTube world, I'm not. By the way, I'm not making fun of Verse right now. I'm not. If the fans believe it, it's true to YouTubers. Isn't that incredible? So
yeah, it's really cracks me up when everyone's like, dude, you guys work normal jobs. That's so fucking gay. You're slaves to a company and slave to these customers and all this shit. It's like you're a slave to your audience and the fans.
Yeah,
whatever
exactly.
they think is what's driving your.
Exactly.
You're doing the same shit to your customers.
Exactly.
But worse. At least they can clock out and say, fuck you.
Yeah,
you guys are just
you have to deal with one idiot boss. They have to deal with 10,000 autistic spurgs. Who's got it better?
And they have to go like, you guys have a point. Yeah, so true based. Like, I don't pretend to like any of you fucking people. I hate most of you. Fucking.
So I don't know if I should be mad at Mutahar. I'm told this video is going to make me insane. So Mutahar has apparently made some political videos. He thought, like, let's get rid of the toxicity of the drama community and go to politics.
Yeah, the one that stands out is him, going back on him making his Kevil's video, which is like, what? Like,
I don't hate.
I had a pretty good reason to make that video. Like, what are you talking about?
Like, look.
It's like, yeah, the comment section just boiled down into a trans debate, and I didn't want that kind of dialogue. It's like, fuck me. It's YouTube comments. That's really what we're talking about right now.
I know.
Oh, right, because all the fans are the only thing that matter. Oops, forgot.
Yeah. Well, they all made a lot more money than me. I'm sitting there calling them pussies, and they all made tons more money than I did. You know, because they're not just fucking playing the game. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous, I swear. All right, I got the chat going, so let's make it happen. Mutahar, everybody. I mean, I really don't hate him, and I certainly don't hate his wife, but he definitely deserves his criticism.
Hello, I'm just getting sick of hearing the same kind of speech over. It's the same speech, with a slightly different lens over it every single time.
Yeah,
it's just getting really.
I don't hate him. I don't hate him. I don't know what he knew and what he didn't. I like to think that he didn't mean, even though I was the only guy talking about it.
Gals, me Mutahar, and I'm playing Yakuza Infinite Wealth. There's a lot of games here that I'm recording, and boy, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about something that's got to happen. It's not to do with this game. Some things have got to change. Now, recently I made a video in regards to a politician doing a crypto rug and pull, or at least being part of it. And I removed that video.
He's talking about Trump?
Is he talking about... Dude, like I said, his videos have been insufferable for me. I have not been watching them.
Yeah, because
I'll start them and like it comes off as preaching every single time, and I just stop watching.
Not because of something that I've disagreed with, not because of some retraction, not because I'm getting sued in any capacity. Trust me, I would enjoy a lawsuit after all this time I've been waiting, prepping for it. Actually, I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, you shouldn't. I think you'd shit your pants.
Lawsuits are not fun, but you get the idea. Now, the thing about all of this is, obviously, in the last couple weeks, I've noticed that, a lot of these topics, especially when it comes to, big-time politicians, this has got to change.
He's talking about Trump. He's talking about Trump. So all the Trumpers went after him. That's what happened.
I really am somebody that, from the beginning of this channel, is not somebody that is politically adept. Obviously, that I admit.
That's why I left drama. To do politics.
Say that I really don't know.
Yeah, I was getting too serious. The stakes are getting too high in YouTube commentary, speaking my opinion, so I moved to political speech where the stakes are low and everyone's fair and balanced.
Next week I'm going after Hassan.
Politics. And the few times that I do talk about it, like very recently, probably when it came to like the US and Canada, that's from the perspective of somebody that is kind of knee deep in that. So I believe that's kind of a fair...
I'll do something. I've got mostly a right-wing audience. Trump did a rug pull. Deal with it. Deal with it. Deal with it. Deal with it. He did a rug pull.
Exception
why
to the
should
rule?
Why should anything happen to him? Nothing happens to anybody else.
But I usually tend to stay away from things like internet politics or things like real world stuff because I always consider my channel to be an escapist route, right? Like as somebody that likes to come home from work,
see, it's the same
YouTube
fucking
as a
thing
hobby,
every time.
I like to leave the problems of the real world behind.
Guys, YouTube is an escape for me. It's not a job. You guys are ruining my escape, guys. I do this for fun.
Well, here's the thing. That's not true. All right, that's not true. I don't know. I'm sure Mutahar's a super smart guy. I'm sure he's got other businesses and things of that nature. But whether that's true or not, and he doesn't need this, and he's making lots of money other places, he doesn't act like that. He protects this like it's his only form of income. And I believe him. I'll give him benefit of the doubt. I don't think this is the only thing. But let's look at it this way. Like what were we talking about the other day? What's the percentage of his income when it comes to YouTube?
I don't care if you make 50 million, 500,000, 50,000. What percentage of your income that you're bringing in is YouTube? That would be my question.
Yeah. Well, all right. Let's say let's assume it's like a minority, right? But let's assume that a minority is at $500,000 a year. All right. That hobby brings you $500,000 a year. You're gonna protect that shit. I don't care if you got 10 million in the
rightfully
bank.
So.
Yeah,
rightfully
you're going to
so,
protect that
don't
shit.
Pretend.
So this idea that it's just a hobby, you don't treat it like a hobby. You're very strategic. This is like you can't sit there and say, "Hey, you guys aren't making it fun for me anymore," while diving into like some of the most toxic shit you can dive into. It just makes you look weak. Like, oh, it didn't. Like, I mean, I feel like the whole drama thing was a way to throw shade at me and. All the other and Nick and other things and who made and certainly it was a way to throw shade at Chud, who made really reasonable criticisms, the criticisms that you kind of made yourself famous for.
Internet little fantasy land, okay, where I can talk about video games, cybersecurity and all that goofy stuff. Internet, shenanigans that happen, right?
Him and Charlie about to go bowling.
For me, talking about, retro video games, the industry, talking about things like, massive cybersecurity incidents when North Korea is doing some crazy shit, intermixed with Johnny Somali being a total fucking idiot in Japan.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I went from drama. Wait. I went from drama to politics, yeah, and it's the same speech.
Which that's going to be a video, by the way, not him, just Japan.
How about this? I will do anything that makes me fucking money on this, and if I take too much heat, I'm going to back out. Fine.
Dude,
and you don't even have to make a public statement about it. He could have just stopped doing it. You know, I ain't doing that again. I've done that before. I ain't doing that one again. Fuck that.
He's just turned the fucking comments off. That's how he's treating this. Like when he talks about it a little more, you'll hear it. But he should just be one of those people. If you want to do this shit for fun and you just want to do it for fun and talk about what you want to talk about, get in, get out, do it for your, you know, for your own release and whatever else. Post the video of the content you want to talk about. Turn the comments off. Boom.
Yeah, turn together. That'll do it.
But there's no way he's going to do that.
No, he's going to do that.
No fucking way.
How about put everything?
But that's what he sounds like he wants.
Why don't you make the videos and put them private? It's just a hobby, right? You know. No, this is horse shit. You don't like getting backlash. It's fine. The only guy that ever said that to me is like, I can't take it. I don't like getting backlash. It was fucking Nick Cash. I don't like it. Fair enough.
They're getting tired of IRL streamers. It's actually insane to go down that rabbit hole recently. But anyways, point being, I made a video.
He's one of the, and by the way, I don't have a problem with this because I don't know, it's like 90% of my friends growing up on YouTube here. He's a bad person YouTuber. Let's be honest. Am I wrong, Marst?
Yes, and I've gotten really fucking sick of it.
He's a bad person.
Because every time I start a video, it's...
In fairness to him, dude, he's been a bad person YouTuber for a long time.
Yeah, I think after all the Chud stuff and stuff, I just have like a different view on it, and it just makes me, I'm just kind of grossed out by it every time. Like because I have push notifications for him, right? So I have like every notification. And so every time it's just a thumbnail of like, this is getting so bad, guys. Yeah. And then he just preaches for like fucking 20 minutes. I'm like, dude, that's what
they want.
I can't watch this shit every day.
Yeah, I know. That's what the audience wants. They want to, instead of it's not like it is kind of like outrage bait in a sense, but it's not like over the top outrage bait. It's like, oh, come on, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's one of those, it's 2025, guys. I've been hearing that since 1988. It's 1988. And it's just, it's fucking lame. Like here's the thing is I don't understand why he feels like he has to make an explanation for himself. You know what I mean? Like, just don't do it.
Dude, just stop making the fuck.
Just other stuff. You'll be fine. People want to hear.
We don't need this every single time.
Mutahar is a good YouTuber.
Like, it's
all right.
Yeah,
that's the thing. He's a good YouTuber, a really good YouTuber.
It's like what we talked about, Tommy. If you don't stop preaching about how much of a hobby it is and how much you like want to be authentic and stuff, and just make the videos like you were doing, be an authentic person, just talking.
You want to be an authentic person, then you take the fucking heat. That's being authentic. If you want to be authentic, then like if you are 100% authentic, somebody is going to hate the shit out of you for it. Somebody somewhere, and they're going to get a bunch of other people to hate the shit out of you, and they're going to say shit to you.
Video in regards.
Well, that's just it. If you're liked by 100% of people, you're doing something wrong, right?
You always just get too much of turn off his computer, go get a beer. Yeah, there you go. Here's what I think. Is this a possibility too? Maybe I'll go racial angle here. All right, Mutahar. I don't know if you're watching this or not. This whole thing about, this just being a hobby and you just want to have fun and what have you. And I'm sure at some level that's true, but it's a business. This is a serious business. Now, I grew up in Woodbridge, New Jersey. And in Woodbridge, New Jersey, is a place called Island, right? It's also referred to as Islam and sometimes Little India, okay? So I think I got my credentials for growing up with a lot of people that were Asian Indians. Tons of friends, right? And you know what my friends used to bitch about? How cheap their parents were. These are very socially or economically conscious people, right? This is what I grew up. These are my friends. These are people I grew up with every Nihar, Patel, and all those other fucking guys. Is it possible that this is just a hobby for you and you don't need the money, but you're going to protect that shit no matter what, whether it's a dime or it's 10 million? There you go. Is that the possibility here that you don't want to lose the money? I mean, fair enough. Did your parents grain into you every fucking dime and penny should be saved? Because I remember my one buddy, his name was Nihar. I forget, he asked his, we were like 15, 16-year-old, he asked his mom for like $15 or some shit like that. And she said no. And she's like, he goes, Mom, we're not in Calcutta. I need the money. Is that what's going on here? I don't know. Are you just cheap? But you can't have it both ways, man. If you're gonna live by the seat of your pants, you might lose money. But you can rest on principle. And then he's probably saying, well, so what you're saying is Mutahar is Jewish. No, here's what I'm saying. Jews got a bad rap in that department, and Indians actually fit the stereotype. That's what I'm saying. In my experience growing up in New Jersey. Is that what's going on? Hey, look, it's a cultural thing. Like, I'm not sitting there saying he's fucking cheap or he's a bad guy cheap or anything like that. Is it a cultural thing? Because if you don't need this that much, why have these humiliation rituals? I don't get it. Or it's not a hobby and you need the money, which is fine too. I don't think there's any shame in being a professional YouTuber. Nothing. I don't know.
Well, over the course of the video he's made over time too. I'm pretty sure he has talked about where he doesn't spend stupid money like all these retards.
Yeah, I know, like all these other YouTubers.
And he spends them on like actual investments and shit that makes sense.
Sure.
Which, makes sense.
Sure, it's smart. Wish he would have taught that to me.
He does. My experience from what he's said is like he's more of the person that will pile it all up and take it to his grave and or pass it on to some sort of family if he has kids or whatever.
That's my grave.
But so much so where he doesn't spend fucking anything. Like, dude, when are you going to spend this if you're just never going to ever?
My grandmother.
I mean?
But that's treating as investment. Like you're probably. I'm coming off like he's a real cheap piece of shit. I grew up with people like Mutahar. All right, like that really protect it, And my uncle used to say that. I said, like, why do they say all Jews are rich? My uncle would say, because they are. And he would say something, because they are all rich. He says, but it's okay, though. If we had the kind of money Jews have, we spend it all and be poor. Because we're Irish, and that's what we do. All right? But here's the best part. They have all that money, and they can't spend it because there's some crazy thing. So they're miserable, just like us. So we're all the same. They have the money and can't spend it. We don't have the money and can't spend it. It's a win-win.
Yeah, it's just so conscientious where you like you just
but see, I'm kind of saying, like, I'm not saying like it's a cultural thing. It's been ingrained. I get that. I respect that, by the way. It is what it is. Yeah,
you're better off. I mean, if you're going to be on one side of the spectrum,
I'd rather be on Mutahar's side. I told you about
towards the middle is obviously the one that makes the most
I told
sense,
you about my Italian girlfriend. I told you about my Italian girlfriend.
Yeah,
she could look at a fucking bank statement and tell you what your ethnicity was. And he said the best ones were the Chinese, better than the Indians and the Jews, by the way. They were the best ones are the Chinese. She could look at a Chinese thing and they haven't spent money in like 6 years, Yeah,
it's crazy.
And the worst were African Americans, and the worst of all the white Americans were Irish Americans. She used to say, the O'Reillys overdraw. They're right. I know. I grew up with that shit.
Argentinian president, the Argentinian president doing a crypto rug and, being a part of a crypto rug, so to speak. And the thing about it is, these videos do really well.
By the way, I don't know anything that's true about Mutahar, but I just wonder,
But as somebody that witnesses the content, somebody that loves the engagement, right? Like, I love to read comment sections in videos. That is probably the best part of doing YouTube content.
Where the Polacks fit, better than the Irish, strangely enough.
Creation is reading the comment sections of what a video has to offer.
You're Polish?
Okay, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a very round face.
You know my surname.
Yeah, I forgot.
Well, you also know my surname, so.
I forgot your surname.
Here, I'll type it out for you.
Well, I trust you. Don't type it out for me.
There.
Yeah,
no, I did.
Oh, you typed it out in YouTube chat, Jeannie. What the fuck are you doing?
No, I didn't. I'm not a tard.
God, I knew a girl with your last name in high school. I'm not even joking. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, I know the coat of arms that's associated with it because I thought, oh, maybe I'll do a assessment on it, and it's just it was like instead I did it about horse cocks.
Polish Americans are known for being super easygoing on the fence about everything. The Polish are known over here for stealing your fucking car. That's the same. They have a completely different. Like in the States, kind of dim, easygoing, on the fence about everything, doesn't want to. That's the Polish American. Polish over here, they're all gypsies and they'll steal shit.
Tougher. The problem with covering videos like that is, generally speaking, when it comes to highly politicized figures, people like Trump or Elon Musk or really anybody in the space, I would go far as to say even videos on characters like Keffels, for instance. It makes the comment section completely useless. It really makes
useless. It's not there for use. It's just there for people to express themselves. So you honestly,
listening to this back now again, it makes me think of the whole Nerd City thing with the fucking Discord.
Yeah, it does. It does. You can't control that. People are gonna fucking react. That's what the comment section is for, is to speak your fucking mind, even if it's insane.
I want my comment section to have a higher level of intellect, guys. You have to be better. Like,
do better
until you guys can be civilized, you have lost political and commentary privileges. Like, so fucking gay.
Well,
I've
heard Twitchers say stuff like I've heard Twitchers say like stuff like that, like say, control your community. Well, to what extent? I control my Discord, control my community? Fuck off. I mean, the only thing you can say is like, yeah, don't brigade that person. That's it, and that usually causes a brigade. So you're better off just shutting the fuck up.
Engaging with the content, effectively the hardest thing to do. So what I mean by that is, let's say that you talk about somebody who does a crypto scam, right? You can bring up all the facts.
I'm going to go into all his videos now and just say, your problem is you're a cheap Indian. That's no matter what the topic.
It's in the evidence and whatnot. But generally speaking,
I would be behind him if you could somehow take a YouTube IQ test and it's filtered by IQ. You can have like below 100 and above 100. You can have two different comment sections.
Yeah. Like the turbo
and
nerd.
If people say stupid shit, you have like a little dash, like it has their username 2 days ago, and then dash like 72 IQ. Dude, you could just fucking tear into that. Dude, you could just totally
but the turbo nerd says reel us in, Tommy. But I mean, I have had things in my you know what I do in my chat, because obviously I can't go, you're a bunch of fucking morons, people that like make the whole thing go, right? So I am at a disadvantage. But you can say something on principle. Sorry, guys, I disagree with that, and I'm not doing that. That's it, and then move on. And everybody just kind of fucking grumbles, and they watch the next day anyway.
No, make an 11-minute and 32-second video declaring why you won't talk about it again.
No, it's my show.
Where's the community post retracting this afterwards?
Figures. It ends up being a pissing match. It ends up turning comment sections into a turf war. Remember on Deep Web Browsing, I would just say, hey, I don't want my comment section turning into a turf war when I come to a rather unsavory looking website, which...
I don't care. You guys can all fight as much as you fucking want. It makes me bigger. I don't care. Call each other names, dox each other. I don't fucking care. It's not my fault.
On the topic of Deep Web Browsing, enjoy it tomorrow. I had to wait and edit the video out a little bit because I spoke to God. Long story there, which you'll get to see very soon. When you cover... topics that, are highly, I guess you could say controversial, or, topics like politics, where unfortunately the discussion of it has become almost like a team sport.
It's always been like that. That's the thing that gets me about all this.
This is what I don't understand.
I've been hearing this since I was a kid, by the way. There was a time when politics were clean. No! There wasn't a good time. There wasn't a good space. It's always been vicious, power-hungry bastards. By the way, Destiny's nothing new. Nothing new. There's nothing new about him. It's never ever been a clean thing to talk about. And if you're thinking about, there was a time and a place where people were more polite or what, you're lying to yourself. There was a time and a place when people put that front up, maybe.
Sports type of deal, where you're either left, right, you're either for, against. Nobody really in this sphere wants to engage properly with the content.
No,
even
they
with
don't.
Like political content.
Exactly.
Right? Like researching a video that I've now scrapped. For anybody that wanted to know what the video was, it was Doge.gov, a federal government website, apparently quote unquote getting hacked.
Donated $5. I love the idea that anytime I click on a Muta video I just see a comment from you. God, you're such a cheap Indian. Then another comment below, yo, can I borrow $15?
Yes, Daddy, that's what I'm going to be doing.
It was all over the news, and being somebody that talks about cybersecurity, I felt, yeah, this is up my wheelhouse. I don't engage with it in a politics sense. I don't really care, because again, I'm a Canadian, not a fucking American, not really my neck of the woods. But, you know, I wanted to talk about it because people were saying there was a serious hack. And I actually filmed the video. I went through showing what the hack was, which, by the way...
Yeah, it's like his friend CoffeeZilla is getting fucking his pantsuit off on principle because he's standing on principle. You know,
it was some real script kiddie nonsense, so to speak. And I thought it would be a funny, goofy video. But honestly, seeing the last few...
Yeah, but Tommy, the golden... Yeah, Walter Cronkite. They always bring up Walter Cronkite, who's as biased as they come. The guy who probably extended the Vietnam War single-handedly. Sure. Yeah, it was a golden time. A biased reporter who would lie all the time.
Weeks when it comes to political content and just, you know, talking about a political creator, you know, as a side tangent almost. Tangentially related to the main topic. Nobody engages with the main topic. They always just turn the comment section into a massive, complete pissing match. And I know for core audiences that watch, that's not something that I think you want to see. That's not something I want to see. And as somebody that, you know, produces content...
Yeah, Moda, get a hold of that. Well, just make some bands.
For my core audience first, it's not a route that I think is worth going down into. And that's realistically... you know, where the crux of this video is. That's really what has to change.
God,
you know,
so
I've noticed this happen.
So he's basically telling people what they can and can't say. Am I wrong?
You know what else this reminds me of? Tommy, you've really upset my mods, Tommy. I think you should apologize.
Well, he's basically telling people what they can and can't say.
Guys, you're upsetting my core audience in the comments. You have to be tame.
Do you imagine like having like a hockey or any kind of sport, and you have to tell like the Boston Red Sox fans to get along with the Yankee fans and be, you know, be intelligent about this stupid subject, you know? Come on, show some respect.
God.
You know?
With, you know,
that's what he's asking. He's asking the ridiculous.
Characters like Keffels, for instance, where, you know, a year ago, actually a year ago, I talked about this character and I basically looked at the misuse of, you know, $100,000. And in this entire story, you know, it really felt like nobody really wanted to even engage with the scam part of it. It really just became a culture war topic because, you know, Keffels is a trans person and that became the focal point of it.
No shit. I mean, does he really want me to believe that he didn't know that going in? That like both sides, the left and the right.
Of course, it's going to be the
left and the right. Well, you mean people have agendas, Muda? Oh, I'm so enlightened now. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I know what he's saying. I know, but see, I think that's a byproduct of doing a controversial person or topic.
Yeah,
he seems to think it's like this is like a revelation of some kind. Wow, this is really crazy. People act nuts. You know, no, it's of course the lefties are going to use it to their advantage, and the righties are going to try to use it to their advantage. And what you're supposed to do is stay the course, make it as unpolitical as possible, and just show the numbers. But nobody wanted to engage. No, a lot of voices didn't want to engage in that. It just matters if your T's are crossed and I's are dotted. It's how people take the art, so to speak, is up to them. And if they ask you, well, what side of the culture war do you fall on? Here's what you say: neither. I think my work speaks for itself. Keffels is a scammer, regardless of her political affiliations. That's it. That's it. But don't you think? I repeat, Keffels is a scammer. The culture war part of it, you guys can do what you want with that, but it's not for me. My point was to show we had a political person scamming people out of money and still continues to do it to this day. That's it. That's it. Stick to your guns. But I don't know. He has a problem doing that.
So really, after all of it, it just made me realize it's not worth talking about certain issues like this because nobody wants to engage with the fact that there was misuse of funds. It really just comes down to, hey, we have an enemy. This guy made a video. Let's use it as ammunition, yada, yada.
He needs to get out. If he's speaking honestly, which I don't know that he is, he needs to get out. He needs to meet more people. He needs to see more people. Because if he's actually that befuddled about people with political advantage agendas of using stuff to their advantage and ignoring the overarching point, I mean, like, he's not as smart as I thought he was. And I'm pretty sure he's smarter than me.
Yada, yada, and so forth. And that's, in my opinion, not good. It's not good content.
So
to really
when I think he's smarter than me, I think everything that's coming out of his mouth is bullshit. Like he's trying to manipulate the audience into thinking he's somebody that he's not. If you want to be a part of the culture war, you want to be part of it, say you're a part of it. Take a side. Pick a side, motherfucker. If you don't want to pick a side, stay neutral, do your thing, and don't weigh in. What was your point with this video? To show she was a scammer. So how do you feel about the right using it this way? I have no opinion. My whole point was to show that this person was scamming, regardless of if it was Donald Trump or anything. I'm always going to point crypto scams out, or I'm always going to point what kind of scam did she run? She was just like a political money making scam. That's it.
Into it's not really worth going down that road because the engagement for that isn't really centered around the actual discussion on the video topic itself. Which, again, when it comes to things like crypto scams, I like talking about.
Yeah, the left centered it around that you hate trans people, and the right centered it around she's a scam and commie. Like, what did you expect? What did you expect?
Those scams and whatnot. But the
you know what else he sounds like? He sounds like Gamer Gators. Hold on.
Might leave Mutahar because of this video. Do you and your wife want to start a trouble?
No, I disagree with that. I like Doe, and I hope they stay happy forever. And I'm not engaging with. Well, I'll take your money, but I'm not engaging with that. There you go. Take a like. I just went against Muta. Perfect example. I just went against one of my donators. I will not engage in that. I don't think that's funny. All right, and I will take the fucking heat for that. It's that simple. No, I think that's a bridge too far. I really like Doe, and I hope they have a wonderful marriage. And she loves her man a lot and is willing to fucking take a beating.
Tommy,
for it.
I think you should make a 12-minute video explaining why you don't want donations with that sort of context.
Yeah, you can donate like that all the time, but I'm not fucking. Yeah, you give me all the money you want. No, I like Doe a lot. I stand by. I like Doe. I don't even hate him that much. I just think he's a ridiculous person and become a ridiculous person. And I think he kind of stabbed us in the back a little bit.
You can do a bunch of research into it, and the reality is there's going to be people that ignore the entire meat of the video, which is researching into the crypto scam, and will find some way to excuse somebody that they've idolized.
Oh, look what happened to Willie. All those fucking douchebags over there. It's like, well, you didn't do enough of this, and maybe you could have done more of this and less than that, and then maybe you could have, your opinion is kind of a milquetoast. You didn't do enough research, or you didn't do the research the way I should, or you didn't do enough Destiny. You did too much President Sunday. Like, you got to ignore that shit. And what does Willie do? He goes into that bad faith environment, debates them all, and does pretty well. You know,
in some cult-like fashion, and it's weird. It really is weird to see. Like talking about Doge.gov,
it's normal.
How many people in that video will actually engage with it because of the hack itself, and then how much of the comment section is going to be just people arguing about what side is right and what side isn't. You know, as a content creator, the coolest thing is like when you see like 1,000 comments on a video. Because I'm somebody that likes lurking internet forums and just reading internet discourse, right? Especially when
just by him saying that, if he's one of those people, he has to know that internet forums are complete and utter bullshit. You mean he goes into internet forums and says, "Wow, these people are really fucking
not
brilliant."
If you go to a good one, Tommy.
Yeah,
where it's
exactly.
Pruned
it's
only
bullshit.
for the finest of
it's bullshit. It does. It sounds like bullshit.
Teddy donated $5. Whoever donated as Muta's wifey Tommy will laugh really hard if you do the same exacto no but for $100.
Yeah, I guess.
When it comes to topics I enjoy. So when you read 1,000 comments, you're like, all right, shit, let me line up and get ready, boys. Let me read that shit all day. And then the comment sections aren't even really about, you know, the topic, the meat and potatoes. It's just about defending a guy who is the topic of the video or tangentially related or shitting on the guy. That's all it is. So realistically, that is what I really feel like has to be changed. And there's a whole lot of other slew of content that I have in the works that I'm making anyways. Obviously, you know, when it comes to the gaming industry, Xbox is something that I definitely want to talk about. And I've got some really interesting things to say, in my opinion, over there that involve Xbox, virtual machines, and a way...
No, that'll never get toxic. My first introduction to toxic fucking debates was, Sega Master System sucks, Nintendo's better. The gaming conversation is always like on the level. You know, give me a break.
For them to actually
get
Tommy,
out of some... It's because online discourse has gotten so toxic That's why you have these sorts of debates in person in a bar, and have, like, for instance, having a friendly discussion about VR. That went well.
I almost got a fist fight over a VR conversation. If you guys know that story, I came so close. To
so it's just as stupid and idiotic in person as well as online, huh?
Well, I was going to hit that guy not because he was talking about VR. I was going to hit that guy because he wouldn't shut the fuck up. Never forget that guy. Fucking Gordy, Scotsman had to come over and say, you guys got to calm down, all right? And then I was like, all right, it's Gordy, your place, I respect it. So we both got quiet. The guy leaned over to me and he said, I don't like this uncomfortable silence we're having. I was like, what are you, my fucking wife? Gordy started laughing at him. Uncomfortable silence. What are you, a woman?
Serious.
I just can't believe you didn't think VR was ever going to get better.
Yeah. God. No, that's not what I said. That's what he kept saying over and over again. No matter how to answer the question.
They've had. I want to talk about, agencies like North Korea. Crypto stuff is not something that I'm going to ignore. But I'd rather just, instead of talking about, fun things, in my opinion, like a president doing or being a part of a rug pull or at least promoting it.
So here's what happened. So all the MAGA nuts went after him because he called it a rug pull. Well, if you're a fucking principled person, you would stand by it. You don't have to fucking double and triple it down if it hurt your overall product. But you can stand by it. You can stand on fucking principle. And you don't have to make this video basically saying, I'm never going to do this again, because it just makes you look like a coward. If you think Trump done a rug pull, he did a rug pull.
It was a politician from Argentina. Had nothing to do with him.
It had nothing to do with him. But, I mean, Trump's been accused of doing a rug pull. It was the meme coin. Right after.
No, I'm pretty sure it was for Argentina.
Oh, okay.
But
I've heard Trump being accused of doing a rug pull. And kind of looks like it from what I saw. But this is why people hate crypto.
About something like, North Korea, which it really feels like if you want to have discussions on topics like this, the people you have to talk about must be unanimously like the most disliked people in the world.
No shit. If you're going to criticize somebody who's popular, you're going to have to take he just admitted he doesn't want to take any heat. He wants it easy. He wants it to be easy. All right, do it easy then. And I don't know why he's telling us that. And it's a little difficult to take him seriously in the future if he's not willing to risk his own reputation on criticizing people. If you're only going to take easy targets.
It's funny, you can talk about crypto, and the moment you talk about somebody like Trump or whatever, it becomes a highly politicized topic. The moment you talk about
because he's the president of the United States,
Logan Paul, everyone suddenly gives a shit about what you have to say
of course.
With cryptocurrency and blockchain technologies. It is, ladies and gentlemen, just the world in of itself. And I really think it's just how things have kind of gotten. Like looking at political content on the internet, one of the weirdest things that I've seen in research for the Doge.gov video was like, seeing a whole bunch of like political creators talk about Elon getting like a girl pregnant or something. And I'm like, man, if this is like, it really felt like, watching like, the
It is Argentina? Okay. What were you saying? You're right.
Inquirer, like the tabloid journalism.
I talked over it. Oh, okay. Who cares? It doesn't matter.
Pages you saw when you're like checking out from the grocery store where the gum is put. They have like the little magazines that are like, hey, Martha Stewart just got impregnated by Bigfoot. We have photos of the kid, right? It's like, bro, the most insane batshit nonsense. It just exists as like culture warfare fodder. And it's not something I really want to engage with content going forward. So this video that I'm speaking
cross out drama, cross out politics.
from the heart here is mostly for the actual core viewership. And it is what it is. I think the core audience doesn't enjoy it, and I certainly don't enjoy watching, entire videos with research and effort put into it completely thrown to the wayside, and the actual engagement with it just comes down to people using it as ammunition for a culture war that I am not even a part of. I'm not intelligent enough to be part of some political culture war, whether that be in the gaming sphere, which unfortunately there's a lot of that there.
No shit.
I'm not into it for the political side. There's a lot of content.
Guys, I'm really sick all this time. I'm not going to do any gaming stuff anymore. Some ordinary gamers. I'm waiting for that one.
Creators that I watch for gaming that, recently all I see on their feeds is just Trump, and like, fucking this politician bad, this politician good, from every angle. And it's fucking exhausting. and to sort
on sub.
of see it bleed into my content.
But he's fucking like you bleed into your content. You brought it up. You went into that arena. It's unbelievable to me.
And in some cases in my community, it's just something where I feel like I have to course correct and really personally step away from. But yeah.
Dude, just talk about the shit you want to talk about.
By the way,
he does this thing where he has to preface everything before he talks about anything. Like, guys, this is my escape, whatever. Like, you know what's funny, Tommy? I found a video that was how long ago was this? 2 weeks ago. And you want to hear at the very beginning of what he says before he starts this, Tommy?
What does he say?
Listen to this. Listen.
All right. Okay.
Now, I don't really talk about politics on my channel.
Like, dude, come on.
Come on. Here's another thing. I got news for all of you. From Nick Diorio, the fucking PewDiePie, the goddamn
Nick just covered it, so
yeah. I got into this whole community shit. It's not your community. It's theirs. Mine too. You're in the vessel. That community is an ocean and it can overturn you anytime. It's not yours. It's never your community. It's theirs. It's the people in the chat. You're just coasting on those waves. When people say my community, it's just me personally. I mean, I know what they mean, and they're just being expedient in their speech. It's not yours. Shop on the Point is not my community. It's not.
I mean, that's
I don't
the
own
YouTube
it. It's
motto,
theirs.
though, is you ride the wave and you keep the balance. That's what you do.
Balance. That's it. It's not mine. It's yours. This isn't mine. I mean, my channel's mine. The content I decide is mine. My community, they're the waves on the boat. They make the whole fucking boat float. It ain't yours. I mean, you can rudder things with the boat and steer it, but it doesn't mean you can't get hit with a tidal wave either. I'm not going to do any videos anymore. Mutahar. Yeah, it's kind of what it sounds like.
Wanted to make this video, wanted to really talk about it, wanted to give an update.
Bad idea.
Wanted to just speak my mind. But yeah, I'm going to go back to recording some of this game. I'm going to go back to hacking that PlayStation 3 and installing Linux onto it.
I have an idea. Let's make fun of Mutahar's community by reading his comments.
Because that is part of the video. I actually have found a backwards compatible PlayStation 3. Let me tell you something right now.
That was a hard thing. I spent $300 and it didn't work.
Been in hell to find this.
Yeah,
thing.
It's not fucking easy. I'll give you that. And I'm not gonna stop watching Mutahar either. I like when he covers stuff like that. I do, right? And I don't mind when he covers politics. And I don't care when he covers cultural war issues or if he does YouTube drama. But you know what? In order for him to take me seriously, he's gonna have to start taking a lot more responsibility for his fuck ups, and a little more guts when things could start. When the boat starts rocking a little bit. That's what I'm gonna say to him. I don't hate him. I wish him success. He's already way more successful than
he literally treats his content how Pirate Software treats raids. Like at the moment it starts going south, they're like, "Oh shit, guys! I gotta flash out of here."
Do you think like when you get as big as him, and you start saying things like "my community," that you just get a complete like maybe his problem is his worldview is just so far off from reality when it comes to his community that he just can't do it anymore. I don't think Muta's stupid. I really don't. He's not a stupid
I think
man.
he just misses being smaller. Like, you're almost 4 million subs now.
Yeah, that's true. Nice.
When you were doing deep web browsing, like, I'd have to look. I could find it real quick how big
you know what I miss sometimes? I miss doing hockey sometimes. You know what I miss sometimes? Like, I miss doing stuff with Jeff and Real Talk. And, like, when, 10 people were watching and we're laughing like a bunch of fucking idiots. Right? And guess what happened? When beta happened, I had to make adjustments. And it was never the same. You know what I miss? I miss you and Burst, or you and
okay, buddy. Tobes.
I miss that. Everything changes all the time.